Hello, everyone. It's Yo Taylor back here at the Style Table, and this is another new episode of At the Style Table show. We are here with CEO Nicole Nixon of YouNique Travel Services. And when she says unique, she means it because she is a high touch concierge provider of travel services. And when we're over 50, we need everything. And I have been a person who is a client, a customer who has personally witnessed and experienced this wonderful concierge service. I lost my wallet while she was handling 100 different things. Here I come. I lost my wallet. She was on it. She was taking care of everything, and I got my wallet back. And it was just amazing how she takes care of everything, the details, just the things that you get when you walk in, how she greets you, the swag, every detail. That was just so perfect. It was such a wonderful experience, and I'm so honored to have her on the At the Style Table show to give us all kinds of tips as to what we can do as we're traveling, as we're aging, and taking care of some of the things that we need. And of course, style. We'll talk about some of the things that are easy for you to pack and wear when you're on vacation.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction and thank you so much for having me. I do appreciate it.
So, first off, what is your specialty? If you what are places that people request from you as far as travel vacations?
The Caribbean is the most popular destination that's requested for me to send my clients, which actually happens to be my favorite vacation spot as well. So it's great. It's a great fit. Most recently, I've done a little Europe and a little bit of Asia, so that was pretty cool. It was something outside of the box for me. So I'll be doing a little more of that, but my specialty is always going to be the Caribbean. I love the Caribbean.
We had a great time.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. We had a
Absolutely,
fantastic time.
absolutely.
So, with that, tell me about, I'm talking to people who are over 50, particularly women, and there's so many things that we need, hair care products, all sorts of things as far as, when when you put groups together, do you like if they say, hey, we need a place that we know, where's the bodegas that we should go to, where are the gift, should we go to these gift shops, do you check out those things first to make sure that we have that, or we have access to the things that we might need?
So the first thing when somebody calls me, I like to do an intake call where they, a lot. This day and age, a lot of people just want to text you and email you. So I always like to do an intake call though for that initial conversation, and I kind of want to see like, what experience are you looking what is it that you need? Do you have anything that might be out of the norm that I need to pay attention to? To make sure wherever I'm sending you can accommodate. So definitely that's something in the upfront conversation. So whatever it is that you're wanting or you need, like I'll even ask you, where have you been that you like? What did you like about it? All of that helps me to come up with a place, and then I go. Sometimes I might have a place in mind already. Other times I might go research a little bit, talk to some other agents. We have a million group chats for different agents, different agent groups. So I go and I see, what was the experience like if they sent their client or they went themselves, if it's not somewhere that I've personally gone. I do try to get out as much as possible so that I can see firsthand. I can definitely sell something better when I see it, see it myself firsthand. So I do, but it's like a million resorts, right? So, I mean, and they're all different. So I do rely heavily, on some of my colleagues as well, and then reviews. Sometimes I'm just hanging out in groups, of the resort, just trying to see what people are saying, not necessarily an agent group, just trying to see what people are saying about it before I send somebody there. So definitely have that upfront conversation to see what it is that you want, and then seeing, what's a good fit for you based on what you said.
So you said something that was key for me is that you don't just talk to the people that work at the resort. You talk to, and not just other agents who are possibly trying to sell the resort, but you talk to people that are just visiting resort and just talking to get their, because that's where you get the real feedback,
Absolutely.
especially if
Absolutely.
they've been at the swim up bar for a little bit.
Right. Yes, and they are so honest. They are so honest. Even if I'm on site, like I do hang out in there in the groups that they might have, the unofficial groups. So I don't necessarily hang out in the resorts group because they manage that and they control what's posted. But unofficial groups, I'll hang out in there to see what people are saying. But if I'm on property, I'll stop and I'll talk to people to see what they're saying. What the feel is. Sometimes it can be hard for me to tell if I'm only there for a site inspection, so I might only be there for 2 hours. So it's kind of hard to tell what the experience is. I know what I see. They may have given me lunch or something like that, so I get a little taste for the food, but I haven't stayed there, right? So sometimes the site inspections can be hard to tell, but if I'm actually staying at a resort, then I get that full experience. But definitely talking to some of the people who've already gone and seeing what they're truly saying about the resort or the cruise line.
Because that to me is that's real research. That's real research, and that way you can truly feel confident or confident saying one way or the other, this is for you or this is not for you.
Yes,
Because some people might say, "Oh, well, the bathroom's really small. I don't really care. That's not my thing. I'm not going to be in there anyway that much." Um, or the bedroom or whatever their issue is. So you can have a chance to feel someone out as to whether or not this is a good space for them.
absolutely. Because some people are just complainers. They're going to complain about every little thing. So you definitely have to be able to decipher, what's a valid complaint and what's not. What is you just had a couple of drinks and you finding everything that you can complain about. You definitely have to be able to decipher.
Ooh, I'm having flight attendant PTSD from that comment.
Right.
Oh, yes, yes, I totally, totally get and know that one, man.
Yes.
So tell me this, like, if you are, many families are blended in terms of age groups, and we're generational homes now,
Right.
and you're taking mom and dad on vacation with you. We're in our 50s and above. Many times we're in pretty good shape, but still, if you're taking an elderly parent with you, and you might need, a wheelchair, things like that, is it wise to check and bring your own wheelchairs and scooters and all that for your loved one, or is it better for you to just, or do you assess whether or not they can accommodate?
So it depends. I will definitely, if that's what you need, I will definitely see, if they can accommodate before we even book you there, right? However, sometimes, depending on what device you need, you may need to bring your own, because you might have something special, that you need. But when possible, I would definitely recommend that you just get it in destination because they make it super easy. Like you can get a wheelchair at the airport. So as long as you don't have any special needs outside of the actual wheelchair or maybe oxygen or anything like that, you can definitely get that service at the airport, and they will take you to the plane, and then they will be there to greet you when you get off the plane. They're going to take you to get your baggage and all of that to your transfer. And then when you get to the resort, it certainly can be arranged with companies that you already have something delivered, whatever it is that you need delivered.
Oh,
Um,
wow. So you
so
you contact other the company, a separate company service.
Yes. So sometimes the company will work directly with me. Other times it's a matter of just putting the client in touch with the company because they don't work directly with agents. But whatever way, I just want to make sure that you get what you need so that you can have a good time. But yes, that's definitely something that is a service, even on the cruise lines as well. I know back in 2019, I had a nerve condition with my leg, and for like 3 months, I couldn't walk, and we were going to Disney World, which is a whole lot of walking.
Yeah.
And I actually, contacted a company, and I got a scooter. I got a scooter. They delivered it. It was there before I got there. It was at the hotel before I got there. And then they came and they picked it up. It was just a matter of leaving it in the lobby. So it was great, because it was kind of like effortless besides the phone call. So that was great. They make it so easy, because they definitely want to make sure that you get to where you're going to and that you can have a good time. I just had a group go out, and one of the clients was a bilateral amputee. So I was able to call the airlines, get his tickets upgraded. So that he can sit, in the seats with the with more leg room space, without them having to pay the $500 upcharge.
That's
So
awesome.
he was definitely grateful for that. And then one of the questions his wife had asked me before they went was, what was the shower like? Because he needed a shower chair. He needed room for the shower chair. So I had actually been to the resort, so I was able to actually do send them a clip of when I actually did a tour of the room, and I actually had the spacing so that they could see how much room was in the shower, because it was a little chair there, and they were trying to decide if they needed to bring a shower chair or if what was there would
Yeah.
suffice. So it was great. It was great that I had gone and I had already experienced that resort, so I could be able to tell them that and show them that clip of video. So that was good. Um, and then I also was able to put them in touch with a pharmacy because they needed a certain amount of alcohol. There was something else they needed. I can't remember right offhand what it was. But, I was able to put them in touch with the pharmacy as well. So that was great. It was great, because they had what they needed, and they ended up telling me that, I always send out a survey afterwards. And one of the things that they said is, like, this was the first trip out of the country, since being a bilateral amputee, and you made it seamless. So I
Wow.
would say I felt pretty good that I was able to help them, and I accomplished my goal. I wanted it to be seamless for them, and I wanted them to have a good time, and they did.
That is incredible. I mean, because that was actually my second question
Mhm.
is the pharmacy, because so many times people forget their medication. I've had people when I was a flight attendant, they would go across the world and then schedule their pills out to the moment, and then the day they're supposed to get home, there was some kind of weather event and they had that last pill, and trying to organize that with the tower, trying to get
Yeah.
someone like blood pressure medication. Fortunately, it was something just that simple, because there are a lot of generic and versions of blood pressure medication. We were able to, but it was a high stress trying to get that medication to this gentleman
Yes.
if he needed it. um, so I can only, but being prepared like that and already knowing that you need, like, I have this passenger, I have this customer that could potentially need these things, so you were already ahead of the game, so you knew what they could possibly need before they asked. I think that's phenomenal. Seriously.
Thank you. Thank you. I do my best. I do my best. I just, when people go away, they go away to get away from the everyday hustle and bustle that's here, right? And so when they get away, they shouldn't have to worry about, extra stuff, So what I can take off of them, I
Mhm.
do my best to do that beforehand.
Yeah, that's great. Because I literally, my husband and I just travel with my dad who needs a walker, and he's vision impaired, and so He did have his walker with him, but I never occurred to me that, man, I could have asked to see if they had a scooter
Right.
or something else. I just assumed that they, might not. That's why I took his walker. But there were times when he really, because the resort is huge, and even with a walker,
Yes.
he had to
Yes.
stop and kind of sit in the chair part of the walker.
Yes.
Where if he would have had a scooter, he would have been a lot more mobile and maybe a little bit more interested in venturing out more on the
Yeah.
resort. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
So that's good to know. That's really good information. Very
That's
good
definitely a
information.
part of that upfront conversation. Like, what exactly do you need? Because maybe they don't need a big resort. If even if they're going to get a scooter, or maybe if they're bringing a walker and they choose to walk, because a lot of, I'm thinking of my grandfather. We're like, oh, we're gonna get the elevator. He's like, no, no, I'm all right, I'm fine.
Yes, yes. I get it.
um, but like, that's part of that upfront conversation. Like, what would be ideal for you,
Mhm,
because everybody's not the same. Some people don't mind the big resorts, some people want everything in close proximity.
mhm.
Whether it be just that's your preference, or for mobile reasons. So either, I would definitely want to give you what you want. Also, I don't want to be sending you to a resort that doesn't have elevators. You have to climb 3 flights of stairs if you have mobility issues. So all of that is important, to discuss up front.
Yeah, because I mean, even when you're older, you're tired, you go if all the restaurants are like on the lower level and your room is like 3 flights up even, and you're tired and you've been up at the swim bar. Um, that whole thing with the elevator is critical.
Yes, yes, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Right. So tell me this as far as, I see you do a lot of research when it comes to weather. Hurricane season, man, is like, it seems like now it was in June. It seems like it starts like the end of May now and it's running until it's just tired.
Yes, yes. So hurricane season, June 1st to November 1st, they say. It can be tricky. And I tell people, listen, just get travel insurance. I mean, it'll make your life easy. Like, you just get travel insurance. No, people don't want to hear that because they don't want to spend the extra money, but that's what it's for when the unexpected happens, right?
Right.
So go ahead and spend the extra money so that if something happens, then you can be reimbursed. But a lot of people just don't like to do it. And I realized that a lot of people didn't know that that was a thing until COVID. Okay, but now we know that it's a thing. Get it?
Wow, that's funny that they didn't know it was a thing. I mean, I do get it, and sometimes you guys are your cards will provide it too, but just go ahead and get the extra because sometimes there's fine print where it'll only cover this much. Your credit card will only cover this or that,
Right.
where the travel insurance will pick up what that other insurance will not. So
Absolutely.
I definitely learned that.
Absolutely.
you
And
know,
like you said, there's all types of insurance, so it's important that you know what type of insurance you're buying and exactly what is covered, because like you said, some of the credit cards, they only cover certain things or up to a certain amount, where if you had travel insurance, the correct policy anyway, you could have got your money back. Cash, because nobody wants credit these days. You don't want credit for something, you want your money back, right? Uh,
right.
so yeah, so I tend to push the insurance where you get your money back, just because I would want my money back. so,
Exactly. And it's really not that much. It's really
it's
in the grand scheme of it, it's really not that much. And it will save you a lot of headaches. I've seen
not.
enough people sleeping in the airports
Yep, yep,
and while we're going to a hotel because we had travel
Travel
insurance.
insurance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it makes such a difference, you guys. And it also makes a difference to have a travel expert to who will research every detail. Because I remember when we traveled with you, you had a call. You put out a group call because you had several people, and it was like right after COVID. So you were answering all of the questions. You had us get set up with our
Mhm.
mobile paperwork. You knew that this country would only let you in at this time with this paperwork. So we were so prepared. We had concierge service when we got there. It was just so, it was a beautiful experience. And when that's what you want, man, you save your money, you
Yes.
take time off.
Yes.
You know, you definitely want somebody who's going to take that, the burden of anything that could possibly happen off your back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Is it a lot of work? Yes. But I absolutely enjoy it. I enjoy when people come back and say, like, listen, that trip was amazing. Or, last week they're texting me, like, okay, we need another trip for next year. And what about this resort? And I'm like, okay, they're still building it. The prices aren't out yet. Just give me a second. And I'll let you know. But that's such a good feeling. I had another group, they were like, listen, we're gonna use you all the time. And they were young. They were like, listen, you dealt with all of our shenanigans, you made everything right. They were like, we're gonna give you a tip. You got a cash app, we're gonna give you a tip. But it just really makes me feel good when I can see the work that I put in, all of the hours that I put in, really pay off, in the form of someone really enjoying their vacation.
That is so awesome. And you guys know I'm going to talk a little bit about packing, just a brief little thing about packing. When you pack your suitcase, there are some tools that you can use where you can kind of weigh your suitcase. If you travel a lot, if you take a couple vacations, it's worth to get a little scale to sit your suitcase up so you're kind of prepared. So because the upcharge over the
Goodness.
bag check can be $100 or more.
Yes.
And if you think it's going to be over, always you guys go to all these conferences. They always give you a tote swag. Throw a couple of those in your suitcase. So if you do have to take something out, because sometimes it's just ladies, it could just be a pair of shoes. Take those, take those out, put them in that tote, and then you're under the weight that you need to be. I just went to a women's conference, and I don't know how. I guess because I went shopping. Um, my bag was like right on the money, 55.
Hmm.
55. But I had my little tote ready to take something out. And for your carry-on luggage, you guys, put in your first outfit or two because the hurricane season is real. And the airlines try to get your bags there the next day. But as we see with everything that happened with the computer going down, you want to like have a couple of little outfits in the carry on. I know you don't just want to check it. Take a carry on suitcase, a small suitcase. Make sure you have, your flip flops, a couple bathing suits, a couple sundresses, so you can like enjoy the first part of your vacation, especially if you're going to the beach. Pack all, if you travel with YouNique travel services. In my swag bag, I had a laundry bag. I love that thing. My clients, you're getting laundry bags. I love that. Was great because you could put all your dirty clothes in that bag. So when you put it in your suitcase, it's kind of protected. It's not getting the clean clothes dirty. And then you had travel size um, sunscreen that
Hmm.
you can use, and then also bug spray. You forget about the bug repellent, and that was in little travel packs. And she put those all in our bags. It's really practical things that we were going to use for that trip. It was great. A mask, hand sanitizer. It was great. What we had in the swag bag. So it was very helpful. But really, you want to make sure that you have something in your travel bag. Also, there, people are people are a little nutso nowadays. Get those locks for your suitcase for your doors at night. They're like $15 on Amazon,
Mhm.
and figure out a way to. They come in different models, but definitely get those, especially if you're women and you're traveling in a group and you're traveling alone. Um, you want to do a couple other things to protect yourself. And you guys, I just would not. And I had to learn the hard way because this is so stressful. Don't take your don't take your expensive fine jewelry. Just go get some beautiful CZs or something. But don't take that kind of jewelry with you on these vacations, because you don't want to have to worry about the safe. You don't want to be stressed out. You
Yeah.
don't want to have to go, I lost my wallet and my ring. You don't want all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
It's just something else to be concerned with when you didn't have to be. Like you said, just go buy something inexpensive jewelry or something like that. Something that if it gets lost, you're not even gonna cry over it. It's not gonna make a difference. So
exactly.
I definitely agree with that.
Exactly, you guys. So that's what I have for you. So Nicole's going to tell us about some of first off, tell us about some really cool trips that you see coming down the pike, and some new resorts that are coming down the pike in the Caribbean in particular.
So they just opened. Well, no, they didn't just open it. It's a little delayed. They're getting ready to open Princess in Jamaica, and Jamaica is one of my favorite islands. So I'm really anxious to see that. It's supposed to be like one of the biggest resorts in Jamaica. So
Uh,
I really want to see that. They are also building there. It's a little behind schedule because of COVID. It kind of put everything off schedule, but now they're pretty much I guess closing in on an opening, which will be Hard Rock and
oh,
Unico in Jamaica. And those are two of my favorite resorts, the Hard Rock in Punta Cana and the Unico that's in Mexico. So I'm really, really looking forward to both of those. Let me see what else. So the Bahamas, there's not really a lot of good all-inclusive options. There's not a lot of all-inclusive options, and then the ones that are, they just fair at best. I would say. So Sandals is actually going to rebrand as Beaches, which will be family oriented because Sandals is adult only. So they'll be closing down shortly to rebrand as Beaches, which will be a family oriented, all inclusive in the Bahamas. So that might be a good option for the Bahamas. Let me see anything else. Moon Palace, that we went to in Jamaica.
yes.
They are building in Punta Cana. Again, they were delayed because of COVID. So right now, I believe they're on schedule to open next year. So we'll see. They have a new Secrets Tides, which looks beautiful. And my mom, who works with me, she actually got to visit in the Dominican Republic as well. So a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. A lot of pause. What I want to say. A lot of resort brands are taking over other resort brands as well, and rebranding. So we'll see a lot. I know Marriott has taken over a whole lot. So we'll see, what comes down the pike. I know a couple of resorts I was at, they were doing renovations. They were redecorating to make it look more like their brand.
So I know I said I only had a couple questions, but I have a couple more. So if and I'm speaking for myself, you guys. So I am a yo mom. We're yo mom, pop pop, yo mom, pop pop. If we are taking, going on a vacation, family vacation with all the grandkids, with
Mhm.
everybody and the grandpop, where would you recommend? And also taking my dad, who's also is a senior. What resort or what destination do you think would be best for us to plan a trip like that?
So I'm a Hyatt girl. And I used to be a Palace girl, but Hyatt Hyatt is over Palace for me right now. I do like, so let me see. I'm taking into consideration Dad. I would probably go Hyatt, um, Hyatt, either Hyatt Montego Bay or Hyatt. No, I would do Hyatt Ziva in Cabo and Los Cabos.
Okay.
Um, because everything is pretty close to each other. You have a common section for everybody. You have a section that has a little water park for kids, and you have an adults only section, and they're separated by buildings, so you can truly get that adults only experience if that's what you want. And then everybody kind of meets in the middle. The only thing is, now let me ask you this: are you beach people or pool people?
We're both, as wherever somebody's serving
Okay.
food and beverages.
So that's the only thing about the Hyatt in Cabo. The
Mm.
beach is not swimmable. Beautiful, but it's not swimmable. They don't
Oh,
have a lot of swimmable beaches in Cabo because the current is so strong. So there's very few. So if that's the
good
case,
information.
I would probably go either Hyatt Montego Bay or either Hyatt in Cap Cana.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. That's good information because, like I said, you want to go on a family trip, and we are in the sandwich generation,
Mm-hmm.
so grandkids and kids
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
and our parents as well. So that's great information.
Yeah. I would definitely get Dad a scooter though, just so that he
Yes,
can get
I
around
will.
with ease. Definitely.
Yeah, I will definitely do that
Hmm.
because I think that would, you know, I'll just tell him to bring his scooter, but I won't mention the scooter until we get there because he'll be like, I can walk, I can go. I don't need any extra help. And but once he gets on there, he'll be like, oh, this is kind of nice. Yeah.
It is kind of nice. I told you my story. When I had to use it, and everybody, my family, they still talk about that. They're like, yeah, you had the setting on rabbit. I had it on turtle. I didn't have it on rabbit. But they were like, you were leaving everybody, and I'm like, listen, leave me alone. Y'all got a lot of favor because of that. Y'all got to go to the front of the line. Y'all got on the bus first, like everything. So leave it. They
That's
was like, yeah,
right.
you
That's
right.
right.
So they're like, yeah, you right. We're gonna leave you alone. Every time they bring it up, I bring that up.
That's right. That's right. Because on the plane, everything you get in
Yes,
line first, you cut through security, all those great
absolutely,
things. Yeah.
absolutely. Yep.
So don't hate the player, enjoy the game.
Exactly, exactly. Even at the amusement park when we were on rides, we got to go to the front. You didn't have to climb the stairs; they took us on the elevator up, all of us. So
That's a
exactly,
big deal.
right, exactly. So don't complain.
Oh my gosh, this has been so great. You've been so helpful. Thank you for all the tips. I also know that, you guys, this is just as a retired international flight attendant. When the State Department sends a warning, read it. Read, read. Reading is fundamental. Make sure that you have enough time on your passports.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. When I send out proposals, I tell you how much time you need on your passport. So I'm not a stickler for collecting your passport and making sure what you said is what it is, because I feel like you're grown. You know, uh,
Yeah.
but I do tell you. I tell you, and you're signing off on it that you saw it. So whether you read it or not, I've told you. What the requirement was. But yes, that's really important because some people get sent back home, because they don't have the extra 3 months or 6 months, in a country won't let you in. So that is definitely very important. So, and then the state warning. So, I have people call me concerned about Jamaica. There's a warning about Jamaica out right now. But I tell people you live in America. So I've felt safer in other countries than I do in my own country. And I tell people you got to use common sense. Like, what you would do to keep yourself safe, there at home, you would do there,
Right.
so, you're going to make sure that you lock your door. It just
Yep.
makes sense, right? You're
Right.
not going to get in the car with somebody you don't know that's not an approved transportation, and you're out late at night and by yourself. You're not going to do that, right? Because it makes sense. So just do what makes sense. And then the other thing is you're not going into the inner city. You're going to the tourist areas. So those warnings come from those particular areas, right?
Yeah.
But that's not where you're being sent.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
then the other thing I say, like, listen, if you're just going to be on my phone every day, then we're going to cancel this now. So let's, so, I mean, because I want you to go and to enjoy yourself. If you're not going to enjoy yourself, there's no point in you going. But
That's right.
again, the
That
things that you do to keep yourself safe at home, you would do there.
that's right.
Simple. Simple.
Use your common sense. Stay with the
Absolutely.
group. Like I said, keep if you're a woman traveling by yourself. There are a lot of women who do their solo travelers groups and things, but just do little things as particularly as a woman
Yep.
to keep yourself safe.
Absolutely.
With the little locks and just pay attention to your surroundings and
Absolutely.
things like that and and just enjoy your trip.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
I totally get it. People go to all different places, and like you said, you're an adult. I can tell you how much time you have to have on your passport. I think that's definitely helpful. It almost happened to me. I wasn't even really kind of paying attention, and I looked down, and I had by the time I was going to Paris, I had probably like only like 9 months on
Okay.
left on that passport,
Okay.
and they were just like, "We just want you to know
Mm-hmm.
that you better be out of here in less
Really?
than 60 days."
Wow.
So yeah, because you have to have a certain amount of months on your passport
Yes.
before they'll even let you come.
Yes.
So I was, close enough that they kind of said, "Hey, you
Right.
know."
Right.
So you want to pay attention to those things.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah. So all righty. Okay, one last question. I said I
Yes.
was gonna ask. Cruise line.
Hmm.
Which is your favorite out of all the cruise lines?
So this is going to be hard for me to answer because I've only sailed once,
Okay.
which was last year, right?
Okay.
I sailed on one that most people haven't even heard of, which was MSC. I loved it.
Oh, I've heard of those.
I absolutely loved it. I did the MSC Maravilla right out of New York. I absolutely loved it. However, I do have interest in trying Royal and Norwegian, and I want to tell you something. Your audience is the first to know because I just did it before I got on. Norwegian in 2026 will be sailing from Philadelphia,
Oh, wow.
and I've already grabbed cabins.
Wow.
Yes, so you are the absolute first to hear it. So I'll be, advertising that at some point because prices are going to go up. So I grabbed it now while prices are low. But that's exciting. It's exciting that they're coming out of Philadelphia because Philadelphia ports have been closed for so long. So that kind of opens up a new market really here. For people who don't want to go to New York. And then the other thing about the sailings that are go out from New York, usually the itineraries are limited. And then you usually can't get the 3 and 4 day cruises. So I'm hoping a lot of other cruise lines will follow suit and come here to Philadelphia so that then we can offer more cruises close by. You know, you don't have to worry about flying in the day before, which I always recommend.
Yes.
Getting a hotel, you know, because all that's extra expense, right? You know, so you can just come out of Philadelphia and just drive to the port and or Uber to the port and jump on the ship.
That's so awesome. That's so, so awesome because our port would be Baltimore. So,
Yeah,
but Philadelphia is still close enough. Like you said, it's an easy drive as opposed to
absolutely.
um, going all
Flying.
the way to having to fly in the day before. But
Yep.
you know, like you said, please, 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 if you're flying if you're somewhere far away that you have to fly, please go the day before. Whatever that $100 airport hotel is, $150, it's like insurance. It's like
Yes.
it's seriously. Then that way if there's a delay or anything or a misconnection because of a delay, you can breathe easy to know that you have that extra time
Absolutely.
to get to where you need to go to make your cruise.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's imperative.
Hmm.
And your flight attendants will appreciate it. And your travel agent will appreciate it. Your travel expert. Uh,
Yes, we do appreciate it because then you're not on our phone and we have to try to rearrange things for you and jump through hoops and get you a rent a car and try to get you to where you're going. So yeah,
helicopter you, parachute you down on a ship or
exactly
whatever.
right. Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes. Keep the drama out of your life with travel. So that's why you go on vacation is to relax and have fun. So Nicole, tell us finally. I'm done asking all my questions. I know you're going to send me an invoice. Send me a bill.
Never. Never.
So tell us how we can get in contact with you.
Mhm. So my email address is info@YouNique, that's YouNiques.com. My telephone number, you can call or text me, but even if you text me, and eventually we'll end up on a call, 484-416-1376. And then my website is YouNiqueTS.com. That's YouNiqueTS.com.
And you guys know where you can find me, Yo Taylor at thestyletable.com. Please follow my social media and all my channels. I always appreciate the support. Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye.